Hey, good morning everybody, it's Mike, and thanks for jumping on here with me today as we've been in a series this week titled Try This. And it was designed to be a series of actions, I guess, that you could take today at little to no cost to you. There are actions, these that we've discussed this week, that if you would take these actions, it would allow you to build a strong business regardless of what the real estate market is doing, right? So we've discussed a lot of different things this week, and I know they're challenging. That was kind of the whole point. And I hope you're doing all of them, because I'd really love to see, and I'd love for you to see, what resonates with you, what really works for you, where your skills, where your superpower lies. And it's going to be different for each of us. You might get done with this week and say, hey, this and that maybe is not my thing. That's okay, but you tried it, and you know now. You only know once you try it, right? But in the process, you might find something that you hadn't even expected that does resonate with you. So for today, my Try This challenge is to explore. Now, this is going to shock some of you that I'm going to recommend this. My Try This challenge for today is to explore different paid lead generation strategies to determine if there's one that's out there that could be right for you. Keep in mind that there's two types of platforms when it comes to paid lead generation. And there are some groups that will tout that they have seller listing leads. I wouldn't bite on that too hard. These are mostly online buyer leads, but in today's market, we take either side of the transaction as it comes to us. We don't necessarily focus on one side or the other. And I know what you're going to say. You say, but Mike, you always say you have to list to last, and that being on the listing side is so much better. And it is. But in case you haven't noticed, listing inventory is greatly limited right now for some very legitimate reasons. So just focusing on the listing side may not be a great strategy right now. Well, buyer side's really challenging too with the increasing interest rates. Hey, no doubt. There's no side of this business that's easy right now. This is why I say we play on both sides of the fence, and we take the business that comes to us when it comes. Keep in mind this when you're looking at paid lead generation platforms today, and I hope you will, that there's two types. Type number one, it's pay a monthly fee with no referral fee due at closing. Okay, now I like this one a lot better simply because they're much less expensive, and I'm going to show you why. But they are much less expensive, but they do require risk on your part. You are paying money whether you get results or not. Now, the other reason why I really like this is because in that event, I think you will work it appropriately. The second type of platform strategy with this is there's no monthly fee. You only pay for success. You only pay at closing. Well, that sounds good. Yeah, there's a catch. The back-end referral fees at closing can be anywhere from 30 to 45%. Yeah, ouch, right? There's another brokerage here in Atlanta where they actually put out advertising to agents that says, we set your appointments for you. Yeah, what's the catch? Well, other than they take more than 80% of your commission income, I guess there's not a catch. See, everything has a price. I spend most of the time talking about the price that involves your labor, not your credit card. But there are paid lead generation strategies where you won't have to do the labor, you won't have to generate the customer. They'll generate the customer for you. You'll just have to give them a third to a half of your income at closing. Now, I'm saying this like I'm against these things. I'm actually not against them. And a good friend of mine, Chris Chris Snow. Chris is one of the top agents in the country when it comes to this, is going to come speak to us on November the 1st. So I really hope you'll put that on your calendar and plan to be with it, because Chris is just going to dive into it with you. He's going to show you the different places you can generate leads from, what their cost, what the strategy is, and how to take a lead from a lead to becoming a loyal customer and then a closing. And Chris is maybe the best in the country at this. And I was really excited when he agreed to get on an airplane and come up here and talk to us, because that's a real compliment to all of you. And it was very generous of Chris to be able to do that. So he does this in his business in Florida, and he does extremely well, hundreds of closings a year. So it does work. I'm not against it. I just want you to fully understand it. So let's take today to fully understand it. Examples for the monthly fee option would be groups like Boomtown, legitimate group, Commissions Inc. Those are both. This is a dwindling option. Most of the groups want the back-end referral fees, but Boomtown and Commissions Inc. still offer an upfront per month paid lead generation strategy with no referral fees on the back end. Keep in mind that all of these groups are going to strongly urge you to use their CRM. And if you do this, and if you invest in it significantly, they're right. You probably do want to use their CRM. I mean, I know we give you Moxie for free, but if you're going to be spending significant amounts of money on a paid lead generation system, you probably do want to use that CRM. And you know, I don't get real attached to CRMs. I think you should use the one that works best for you. And in this situation, the lead generation organization using their CRM will probably work best for you. Though it won't do everything you want it to do, the leads will come in and populate within that CRM, and it becomes so much easier to manage and effectively work. Okay? So Boomtown and Commissions Inc. are two examples of upfront paid lead generation strategies. Examples for the pay at closing option would be groups like Zillow, Realtor.com, OpCity, relocation companies. That's another example. They're also going to push their CRM. And if you crawl into bed with them, and this is a significant part of your business, you probably do want to do that. I'm not necessarily recommending that you do one or the other. I think both of them have strong arguments to make. They're valid strategies that do work. I want you to explore them today to gain an understanding so that you can purposely decide if it's for you or not. You can't. Do you ever get tired of people forming opinions about things that they don't really understand and don't have any information on and haven't really looked into, or have a very limited understanding, but they seem so defined in their opinions about it? Well, let's don't be that way. Take today, look into these groups, understand them, and so you can decide what is and is not an effective strategy for you. Keep in mind this, that everybody has a customer acquisition cost. Everybody does. I mostly discuss the kind around here, I mostly discuss the kind that involves your labor and not your credit card. So I call it free. It's not really free though, is it? It does require your labor, your effort, your willingness, your discipline. Those things aren't free. They just don't involve your credit card. But I do think this. I do think that the modern agent is well versed on both sides of the fence and makes intentional decisions about their business. Well-informed, intentional decisions. And I think if we did that today, I think you would be going out there and making it happen for yourself.